Cuter.
Wow.
And what are you?
Hello, gentles and ladymen. I am Bison Gaming, and I am joined by my new friend, Flaming Bison. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
Alright, I just met Flaming Bison, like, 2 hours ago, and here he is casting the game with me, so, you know, we kicked it off. And, today we give you a game. Now, this is the start of Petard Month. I am dedicating a full 30 days of all my videos. The next, like, 30 days are going to focus on Petards. Why? Because they, of course, would be the scariest trick-or-treater to have on Halloween.
They are literally the bomb.
They're the bomb. This is a strategy that I've featured previously on the channel about 6 months ago, but I didn't really do a good job of actually talking my way through the strategy, and so as a result, this cast, this time we're going to be focusing on the strategy and how to perform it. It is a strategy that starts with an Age 1 trading post with India, which is not something that you normally see, as normally India is quite swamped with having to buy both houses and settlers using their woods, so generally you'll see sometimes a market, but usually not a trading post. But in this particular instance, we need shipments for the strategy to function, so that is what we are doing. We are playing with two randoms, playing German and Sweden, and we are against a three-person team consisting of China, Dutch, and Hausa. The most notable opponent that will appear throughout this game is the Hausa player, Deeproot Depths, who is also known under the username A New Player in our Discord server. He uploads like 2 videos a day on his channel. It's nuts. But he is somebody that I do not like going up against, because he raids all the time. So it is very good for him that he does not have a matching username, otherwise I never would have gone into this game with him. He's like exclusively a raider. He's one of those people.
Well, okay, if you play Hausa, you either know what you're doing, and if a Hausa player knows what they're doing, they're dangerous.
Yeah, with Hausa, it's very much so either you are the most dangerous person on the board, or you are somebody who is going to be very confused very, very quickly when you realize it's not like the Eurocivs.
I've tried Hausa in Ethiopia, and I just could not grok it, so I kind of was like, I'm just going to put these aside till I figure it out.
Now, Petards, using India, the civilization that can't train Petards. And you might be wondering, you know, this is not a Petard rush, this is a fast fortress. So for those of you who are perhaps uninitiated, I love Petards, they're my favorite unit. But India, of all civilizations, is actually the best civilization at massing and training Petards. That is not a joke, and it is the funniest thing ever. And they can do it even better. It all works because of good faith agreements. So for reference, about 6 months ago, the British consulate techs received a buff that makes all the techs infinite. This applies to the 2 surgeon, the 4 spy, and the 5 Petard and the 5 Petard techs. Now, this functionally makes them the same as consulate armies. However, because the game still considers them techs by nature, even though they are functionally armies, that means they get a 40% discount with good faith agreements, which lowers their cost from 450 export to a measly 270.
I mean, if Bison abuses it hard enough, they'll probably nerf it. I mean,
I made a couple videos on this a while ago where me and my brother had like a 35-40 minute game in which I made 80 Petards.
Ouch.
But that one's on the channel even. Or I made enough Petards to go against like Italy in the height of their tower spamming era.
That's, having been on the receiving end of Italian tower spam, that's a lot of petards.
That was such a fun 1v1. Also on the channel as well. But if it was just talking about good faith agreements, we wouldn't just be playing India here, because India is not the only civilization that has good faith agreements. I think China has it as well. I don't think Japan has it, but I know China does.
China does. Japan, I think Japan does.
But anyways, the real card that puts this build order together is, and this is the reason why I'm kind of forced to go with Gurkha when I'm doing this, is because of this card right here, Royal Green Jackets. I just want to watch this. We're fighting over a 75 wood for the whole team treasure. Royal Green Jackets is generally not a very good shipment. It functions as the counter infantry rifling for India, which really sucks because it's an age later than every other civ can get counter infantry rifling, and it's also through a card instead of building an attack, which makes it much more expensive. In exchange, it has a secondary effects that this is important. This is the important part, that adds Gurkhas to every consulate tech you do. Now, notably, this applies to techs and not armies. And it adds It adds 3 Gurkha to every tech. And because the Petard one counts as a tech, it means that for 270 export, I have a infinitely repeatable, trainable batch of 5 Petards and 3 Gurkha, who also have counter-infantry rifling.
I'm just going to put this out here, that if you spam this hard enough, they are going to nerf it the same way
they did with Inquisitors.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the YouTuber Uthermal, StarCraft 2 YouTuber?
I am not, no.
Okay, so he did a Ravens to Grandmaster challenge, specific unit for the Terrans. He used them so well that they were nerfed hard the next patch, because he did an entire YouTube series on it, like 14 episodes or something.
Beautiful.
It's one of the... Oh, dear.
Are you familiar with the history of Inquisitors?
Vaguely. I know they were once upon a time a terrifying unit, but...
Yes, and nobody realized it until I made a video on it, and then it became banned in our tournament almost immediately after I revealed the strategy, and then it was nerfed subsequently over the course of, like, 3 straight matches.
I mean, hey... Maybe you'll do the same thing again with the India Petard Rush.
Well, the thing is, as cool as this is relegated to mostly a team strat or against a turtling Italy player because of how much setup it takes. You will not be attacking for a fair bit using this strategy. And you'll kind of see that. As we go into the game, I haven't even talked about the build order. We're fucking 8 minutes into the video. Okay, so it starts with distributivism, and then you send good faith agreements, followed by 700 coin and diplomatic intrigue. You use the diplomatic intrigue with the advanced consulate to grab the British immediately, and then you wait to send anything in H3 until you to make anything with the consulate in H3 until you have Royal Green Jackets. But you want to get the Brits as soon as you get diplomatic intrigue in, because it boosts all of your units' HP by 7%. So it just makes everything tankier. And then you just train Gurkha and some Howdas at your Agrifort, and because you age up with the Agrifort to H3, it automatically comes with the bonus that allows it to train Cav. The Red Fort upgrade, I think it's called.
Yes.
And then you just go Gurkha Howda Petards. And throughout this, we can see Blue is starting to raid with goons, because that's what a new player does.
I mean, he's a Hausa player.
Yeah.
It's like saying, hey, oh, Hausa's raiding. It's like saying Lakota's raiding. It's just the thing they do. It's just one of their... It's a good strategy for them. Oh, dear. That was expensive for Yellow. He lost, like, what, 5 Vils?
Something like that. He lost quite a few, but now there's skirmishers here, so the Javelin Riders don't really want to be near them.
No.
Caroleans only scare... Caroleans are good, but they only scare goons so much.
Yeah. That, and if you have, like, 15 goons, 10 Caroleans are not going to do too much to them, but it can be enough that you don't want to waste extra goons on them.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, we're gonna talk more specifically about the build order than we did in the previous videos, and then I fucking, like, didn't. I just talked about how much I love petards, and then the history of fucking Inquisitors before.
I mean, yeah.
Now, those things are not going to get through a settler wagon. The thing with the thing is, like, if you're going to raid, imagine how many more settlers in this particular scenario he would have killed if he was using raiders instead of javelin riders. Like, I get that javelin riders are safer, and are safer to raid with, but you get a lot less out of it when you have a half multiplier. And 10 damage.
He's lost, like, what, 8, 10 riders? And he's killed 5, 6 vills total?
Probably about...
he costs...
to 7, which is good.
I don't think he killed any off of Germany, though.
He got one for sure. Yeah, he got one for sure right around here before he went to that group. He got one of mine as well.
Oh, okay, then.
But more importantly, I have Royal Green Jackets in, which means the 5 petards are coming, and they're going to pop out of here. And just keep in mind that this costs 270 export, what you're about to see, and what costs 400 export is 6 musketeers.
Yep.
Which is right above it.
3 skirms, 5 petards, for essentially half the cost of 6 muskets.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeesh.
And then we get some much-needed tankiness out of us as well. And we got the 3 times the disciplined. And oh, look, it's a town center. I wonder if anybody has high siege units nearby.
Oh, gee, I wonder who that could be.
It's 10 petards there.
Yep.
But I was like, oh fuck, there's a kind of an assault going on here, so I kind of turned my army around and just sent some petards up that way. I noticed it's already been sieged, so I only send 4. It takes 5 to one-shot a TC. But 4 will leave it at 100 HP, so there you go. Fun fact for you petard micro-nerds out there, all one of you being me.
Ooh, are those... Okay... Looks like
it's
China's bringing the pain.
Here. We got Hussars, we got Shukanu and Step Riders, and we got Javelin Riders. Bit of everything here. Everything except heavy infantry.
One of the Howdas goes down.
Yes, indeed. I did not notice that fast enough.
Oh. Yeah. They're high they're dangerous, but if you focus them...
And look who's going raiding again!
Of course. It's just instinctive.
It is instinctive. He does it no matter what civilization he plays. That's what makes it annoying.
I mean, if you know it's him, you know he's going to.
So at this point, blue's down 1 town center. Yellow started torching it, and then I nuked it to finish the job.
Yep.
Now if we look over on the enemy's side of the field, he's got a 2nd town center and a 3rd town center going up, which means this is actually his 3rd, 4th, and 5th town centers right here.
Good lord, he is building aggressively. Really going for that map control. I mean, if only...
This is what New Player does. He builds billions of town centers and raids and wins. That's all he does.
Yep. But it's such a shame that he's on a match with somebody who spams things that can one-shot town centers. Such a shame.
That's why I recorded this game. The sad irony is just beautiful.
Yeah, this is the problem with being predictable. If you always play a certain strategy, you are going to run into somebody who recognizes...
I did not know that this was him until after the match. Like I said, I probably wouldn't have loaded in if I knew it was him.
Well, look at the bright side. You did, therefore content.
That's very true. And oh look, we got another big mass here going. Now, I have these petards here. This is the only batch of petards that succeeds in doing nothing, because it gets caught out while I wasn't paying attention. Because I was focused on this, right here. But this is the only batch of petards that does nothing.
So every other batch accomplishes at least something.
Yes.
Alright. Looks like a good Carolean Falk mass.
The
yellow.
are on ours.
Oh, there's the more.
Unfortunately, these Falconets are not going to do shit.
Not against that many hand mortars.
Hand mortars and fucking javelin riders. Like, what are the Falconets gonna do?
I mean, if
on the backside, and I've sent these 7 Yarumi card, which are just beautiful units.
Oh yeah, they will clean up a lot of stuff.
And we're putting the Howdas into melee mode. So that's
just got to stop those mortars.
Get rid of the artillery.
Ooh, war wagons.
With some war wagons on this side, and the artillery is dead. So are my Howdas, though. They recovered quickly on those, I will admit. It probably wasn't the smartest idea to walk them right by Chukanu, but, you know.
The Chukanu focused them, but
and
that's
look, there's the Petards die. Now you see why I lost those Petards and then accomplished nothing with them. Because I was we were focused on this.
Yeah, just ran straight into Cav. That's a lot of war wagons. That's got to be scary.
We got like a hefty dose of Skirm Goon going right now. Well, more Goon than Skirm, but you know.
I mean, don't underestimate war wagons.
No, at this point I'm shipping to Howdas, and I'm getting up. I just got up my second TC, and life's going pretty good. You know.
Yep.
One of the things I neglected to do, and I wish I had done earlier, is set the bonus on the consulate that makes it so you get like 60% more export in exchange for 10% less res.
Oh, yeah.
The dumb thing is, it's one of the things I like try to do really, really early on with this, and I just kind of forgot. But we just surpassed 270, so you should see another batch get loaded up real soon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, look, there's a town center here.
Gee, I wonder what this is gonna happen. How this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Oh, right, I almost forgot. I did actually successfully send in a patch of Petards and blow up this Orange Town Center that is now going to...
Oh, that explains why the second batch failed, because he put up towers in response to the first batch.
No, it was the second batch that succeeded. The first batch is the one that
failed.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay, then. Ooh, that's expensive. Ooh, good fight. Okay. A lot of goons.
And
they're countered by skirms.
And that's the third TC to be destroyed by Petards this match.
I'm not seeing a lot of mass from them.
Yeah,
they're just trickling in.
They are trickling in, but they are at least trickling in together, and the Javelin Riders are not taking fights that they know they can't win without, like...
Well, not usually,
This dude is seriously microing in order to prevent loss and to minimize losses. That's good on him. But their big force we destroyed, and now they are struggling to recover. We kind of have them on the back foot a little bit.
Yep.
But, you know, that's two palaces and a university that's been destroyed so far in this conflict.
Oh, yeah, that's going to set them back.
Hussars here is a whole nother story. This is a dangerous batch here. We're not focused on the building. But the building dies, and so then all the war wagons turn around and go, oh, let's just...
clean up this heavy cav.
Yeah. And you see red 20s, one purple 20, and then red 20s.
Oof.
No, I guess it was actually about 50-50.
Yeah.
God,
war wagons are just beautiful units.
War wagons are okay. I like to refer to Howdas as the unit that War Wagon wishes it was.
I mean, Howdas are honestly, I think they're like one of the top 3 goons in the whole game.
Hey, look, TC number 4 about to be lit up.
Yeah, ooh, that's going down.
And see, I'm carefully only using 4 Petards here. I'm using the 5th one for this this palace right here, because then they just can be destroyed by whatever units are nearby. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you guys have a solid mass here.
So that's 3 palaces and 2 universities. Now, each of the palace and the university are 400 res each, and the town centers are 500.
Yeah,
so
that's
just think about how much resources another TC here and one getting built here from blue, and just think about how expensive this is for him, that they keep dropping like flies immediately. And he still has a huge chunk of wood. That's the crazy part. Like, he definitely knows how to boom with his eco. That is for damn sure.
Oh, no, I'm really surprised at how good his eco is. Mm-hmm. The problem I'm seeing with him is he's banking too much resources.
Well, to be fair,
you bring up his resources again?
He's got a lot of food. But to be fair, I'm not letting him get the opportunity to use all of his food, since he'd ideally want to use them on settlers. So this is probably the macro that he's used to, and now he's struggling to switch it up and get more coin instead. Yeah.
Oh, there he is. He just moved a bunch of villagers to coin.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He has far more food banked. He should have pulled 10 vills off to coin, because that's where his problems are. He doesn't have the coin to do it.
look, there's more petards. I spy a town center.
Oh no! This is... Oh dear!
This was one of the most entertaining games I've had in a while, because it's just like, man, that no matter who you are, losing that many town centers by 20 minutes is rough. You know.
Oh,
so that's 4,
beautiful explosions.
And these are at just 100 HP, and these guys have 60 siege each. So 1 headbutt and 2 headbutt. There we go.
Ooh.
And
if he tries to bring anything to counter the Howdas, there's a mass of Caroleans right there to cover you.
That's another university in Taliscon, and then he calls the GG.
Oh damn! Oof. I mean, he's lost so much.
And the rest of the troops follow suit. I am on a quest to prove that Petards are the best unit in Age of Empires 3, and this is the first step in showing that off. I fucking love this strategy. I don't do it as often as I should, and I will be doing it a lot more now that I'm dedicating a month to Petards.
That is crazy. Of course, yeah, you're totally going to get them nerfed. There's gonna be a small patch that comes out of nowhere, like in 2-3 weeks after you've made a bunch of videos, and just, oh yeah, by the way, Petards no longer count as tech.
The funny thing is, I wouldn't even mind if they did that and turn it into an army, because the annoying thing about it being a tech, an infinite sends tech, is that it won't let you queue up the tech behind itself.
Yeah.
So I have to wait fully for it to finish researching and click the button immediately if I want to queue them one after the other. Which you would think,
to keep the momentum.
You're not going to get 270 res, one after the other, but the thing is, you do.
Yeah,
once you get to the late game points in this strategy, you can literally make more export than you can train Petards with.
Well, that's the reason why you go to
faster.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Or you'll go through
I
stretches where you're like microwaving, and then you're like, oh my god, I have 1500 export now, and then you just make an army of 30 Petards.
Yeah. I can confirm all 3 Asian Dynasty civs have good faith agreements.
Oh, cool. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
so could this be viable with Japan or China?
It could probably be. Well, Japan doesn't have British, I don't think. Or one of them doesn't have British. I know that. And I think it's Japan that doesn't, because I'm pretty sure redcoats are like a stable, well-known anti-cav early defense for China, right?
Yeah, no, I've gone British consulate with China, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That was just
But the thing brutal. Is, despite the fact that, everybody has good faith agreements, which means they could technically, if they have access to the Brits, which I'm pretty sure Japan's the only one that doesn't, do this shenanigans with the 270 for 5 Petards, and that's cool and all. But India is the real king of this strategy because nobody else has anything like Royal Green Jackets.
Yeah, that's probably the S factor that gives you such a huge edge.
It is. It absolutely is. And the cool thing about this strategy is, even though I am naked, as soon as diplomatic intrigue arrives, I can force myself to take one less batch. Force myself to take one less batch to get an army of redcoats early for defense. I've done it before, where I'm in a 2v2, and they rush, and I'm in a bad spot. I'm just like, okay, let me just get the redcoats out and time it with the 5 Gurkha that arrived from Age Up, and it really helps out with the defense. You do sacrifice, of course, 5 early Petards for it, but, it is what it is. In team games, sometimes you can get away with it, and sometimes you have to be a little bit more defensive, but the strategy does have the capability for that. You do age up with the Carney Amata to H2, which does leave you open, but India is so famous for doing aggressive aggros that people don't always rush you. So it's not as bad as, say, like, doing a naked with Japan, where everybody rushes Japan. It's like, what the fuck else are you going to do against Japan? You rush them, Doing a naked FF is suicide.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Japan the way, I don't know how other people play them, but I usually will either try for almost suicidal aggression in age 2 as Japan, or boom like crazy to get up to age 3 while praying my teammates cover me. Because, okay, how many people are going to expect 8 samurai and a daimyo with the, what is it, Oni War card? What's it called? Yeah, Onin War, that gives them extra siege damage at like 7-8 minutes. I've done it, and it is one of those, you will get all kinds of things if you pull that off. Because if you dive a town center with 8 samurai in that card, you can burn it down in like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I don't see people being too thrilled about that.
But it is funny to know that, you know, I've had games where I love to, like, keep track of how many petards I make over the course of this game. This was a 30 petard game. And that means that, fucking 18 of those Gurkha had come from Royal Green Jackets. That makes this counter infantry rifling an 18 Gurkha shipment. That's amazing. You know, but I've had games go where I had 80 petards. And just imagine how many Gurkha that shipment provides over the course of the game when one of your techs is infinite. It's nuts. It makes Royal Green Jackets go from a really shitty card that held India back because it makes your Gurkha suck, because you have to send a fucking card for counter-infantry rifling, to, like, one of, if not the best unit shipment in the game.
Yeah, because every single shipment gives you Gurkhas. I'm wondering if they patch it to where you can't get petards as easily, because it won't be a tech anymore. Would you still get the Gurkhas if you, say, send redcoats?
No, the Gurkha are only attached to techs, not armies.
Well, my point is, if they're rebalancing the Indian consulate, make the Green Jackets apply to more than just techs. Would that make 400 for 6 redcoats better if you get 2 or 3 Gurkhas with it?
Oh, I see what you mean. 400 for 6 redcoats and 3 Gurkha versus 270.
If you send Green Jackets.
Versus 270 for 5 petards and 3 Gurkha.
Yeah, well, if they change petards to no longer be a...
I doubt they're going to be buffing fucking Gurkha. But if that,
well, the thing is,
if they changed petards from being a tech to an army, then this would undoubtedly become less effective, because it would be 6 redcoats for 400 versus 5 petards for 450, and that's a major difference.
Yeah, it would go from almost meme status the way you're doing it, probably to surprise batch of petards to burn down a forward base or something. This is still scary.
Yeah, it is
how brutal this is.
It is one of the most hilarious things I've ever designed, I think. Like I said, we had a game where I made 80 over the course of the match, and at one point I marched an army of 30 petards into the enemy's base, and they were playing Dutch, and I destroyed probably 6 banks and 2 town centers all at once while their army was off somewhere else and couldn't get there in time.
Damn.
And it was...
You don't expect petards, because India.
Yeah, you don't. This is not something that you expect. This is not like Malta, where it's like, yes, Opries are... Opries I always consider one of Malta's best... one of Malta's best things, but, you know, it's a lot harder to hide the fact that you plan on going Opries than it is to hide the fact that you plan on going petards. And even though Opries are not a Maltese unit, if a multiplayer goes to age 4, everybody kind of instinctually thinks to themselves, okay, I gotta make anti-cav, you know, just in case they go with the Opries, and so I don't get caught out. Because it's a very dangerous thing, and you don't know whether they're going to send it or not. You can tell whether or not it's in the deck, but you can't tell whether or not they'll send it or when. But nobody goes into India thinking that they'll need to, like, watch their defense, because siege elephants are so comically bad that, like, it doesn't matter.
I mean, 2 flail elephants early on as part of a rush in a team game, if you can get support from your allies to cover them, can do some real damage, but...
I don't know how viable the team flail rush is, though, now that slinging has been nerfed.
Yeah. It would require testing, and at least 2 people who can work together.
Yeah, I mean, that's me. I've the best variant of the flail rush is actually with Malta, because Malta sends Team Knights of the Round Table, and you get a Hospitaller that absorbs damage from your flail elephants. And
yeah, they're big, but they're squishy. And I guess with early elephants, I guess you could call them almost like a Death Star, where they are big and scary, and everybody shoots at them.
We're getting off topic, though. The point is...
Yeah, sorry.
You don't expect an India player to be a threat to your buildings, because
no, not that
siege
early.
elephants suck. A lot of people think they're good, they are not. Now, I will say, even though siege elephants are not good, the 2 siege elephant card in Age 3 is fucking incredible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is an amazing shipment, but siege elephants are not amazing units, is kind of the crucial difference there. But it is something that's funny, because it's just like, oh, well, yeah, I just need to make, a couple skirmishers in case they make it, or goons, or fucking anything, because everything has a multiplier against siege elephants. And then I don't need to worry about my buildings. And it's just like, no, we are making a anti-building unit as the core part of our army.
I mean, if it works.
It does, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching, Gentles and Laymen. It's been good to have Flaming Bison on the video. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Have a great day, and sorry for burning all your TCs. Deep depths. Later.